Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Pull my no hair behind my hat. This is actually not the same hat that I usually wear in my videos. I know it looks, I know it looks exactly like the hat that I always wear, but if you get real close to it, you can see it's actually cotton. It's not corduroy. The hat that I usually wear is corduroy. And I found this when I was cleaning out my closet a while ago. What is going on with the hood of this hoodie? It's not wanting to sit straight. I was going through all my hats and I was deciding like which ones I was going to keep and which ones I was going to donate. And there were a lot that I had actually bought that I'd never worn that I ended up donating. But most of the hats I kept. I have a hard time getting rid of hats, so I kept most of the hats. But I had found this one. My hair looks horrible today, but I found this one. See, it's same D-squared hat, but if you look, it's not corduroy like the other one. It's like cotton. It's like a ball cap. I must have bought this when I was looking for the corduroy blue one and I couldn't find it because I'd left it on a plane. So I must have bought this one. I don't like this one as well, but I think I need to, you guys are probably like, Peter, there's literally no difference. Well, there is. They fit a little bit different. This one's not uncomfortable, but I'm just not used to wearing it. So I have to wear a hat for probably a good 3 or 4 weeks pretty consistently. Like the Gorham Brothers hats, like when I start wearing them, I have like on the table, I have like 4 or 5 hats. And in the bedroom, I have like 2 or 3. And I go through and I like try to like switch them out and things like that. Speaking of hats, do you guys want to hear something strange? One of my hardest OCD rituals, it's an OCD ritual, my therapist said it is, but it's kind of based on a superstition. This is going to sound so strange when I say this. It's something my dad's dad used to say. I don't know how I remember this because I was like 5 when he passed away. But if there was have you ever heard of the superstition if you put like a hat on a bed, it means somebody's gonna pass away? I don't know why. Like my grandfather probably only said that to me like one time, but I remember like I had a hat on a bed or something and he was like really upset about it. He was like, get that hat off the bed. I mean, he wasn't like angry, but he was like, that means somebody's gonna die or something like that. I don't know how I remember that. Maybe it happened around the time that my grandfather passed away or something. I don't know, but anyway. So I'm so weird about hats on beds. Like when I pack and stuff like that, I will not put like the hats on the bed to pack. I put them like on the couch to the side. So that's honestly been like, I know this is gonna sound so strange. That's something I've done for years. Like probably my entire life, I haven't put hats on beds. But just recently, in the last few months, that's something that I've like really tried to get through and like work through. I know it sounds like really insignificant, but it's something that like I always do and it's based on a superstition. And it's ridiculous to think that like a hat on a bed means somebody's gonna pass away, you know? But like for my whole life, like even when like Alex will put like a hat on a bed, I'll be like, babe, can you like move that hat and stuff like that. So now I'm like trying to like work through it. So when I come upstairs to the bedroom and I make videos, you know, I'll bring like the fan and the camera and the tripod and lip gloss and like a hat. Cause usually like when I'm walking around the house, like sometimes I have a hat on, sometimes I don't. And so when I'm filming a video, I always grab the icon hat, the other one, the corduroy one. Incidentally, it's actually up in the bedroom right now, which is why I grabbed this one instead, not even knowing it until I sat down. And so anyway, like recently, like I'll put all this stuff on the bed, but I would always put the hat to the side. And then when I was ready to sit down and film the video in the bedroom, I would put the hat on from the couch. I would put it on the couch to the side of the bed, and then I would put the hat on. Now I just put it all on the bed. But it's like I think about it like each time that I do it. It's so weird to me. Isn't that so weird that that's like... I'm not like an overly superstitious person at all, but I'm not somebody that like tests the fate of superstition either. Like I wouldn't walk under a ladder and things like that, you know. I'm not, and I know like Alex always says that black cats are supposed to be good luck, but like when Tanya, I don't know why, she taught me this. She's like, you cross a black cat when it crossed your path and stuff like that. So whenever I see a black cat, I always go like that. I'm not like it's not like I believe in it, but like I don't like, this is such a bad comparison, but it's like people that don't believe in God, but you know, like at the last moment, they're like, you know, what they call it, the 11th hour prayer kind of thing. You know, it's kind of like that, like, oh, he's doing like a wheelie on, oh, you almost made it. He's like had his bike all the way back on like one wheel and then it like fell. But I am not somebody that's like overly super. You guys are like, Peter, you are like overly superstitious. No, I'm not, you know. But it's weird because like my superstitions kind of in some way, some of them rolled into some of my rituals for OCD. Like one of my rituals was not stepping on cracks in the driveway. Like, that was a huge one for me. That was actually one of the easiest ones for me to work through. But for a long time, like, there's this huge crack that goes through our driveway, and most of our neighbors have paved driveways, but we've kept ours like, it's like solid stone. I don't know what that, but anyway, our two neighbors on either side, I think our neighbors across the street, maybe, I think the two of us both still have the same original driveways. I like it. I think it looks better because it like meshes into the street. But they all have theirs paved. It's real cheap to get it paved. Like, they come out here like every summer and they do like several driveways, and it's like $150 or $200 to get it paved. I mean, like, I feel like that's cheap for getting a driveway paved. Our driveways are real short anyway. They're probably like 50 or 60 feet. But anyway, this crack that goes down the middle of our driveway, I would never, like when I went to get mail, take Boo out and whatever, I would never step on that crack. And it goes back to, this is so silly. Do you know, like when you're like a kid and you're like walking down the street and you say, step on a crack, break your mother's back? It goes all the way back to that. Like, I don't literally think like if I step on a crack, like I'm gonna break my mother's back. But I think like if I step on a crack, something bad's gonna happen. And so like even walking up like the walkway forever where it's like, you know, concrete slab, and there's like a line in between it, like I would never step on those lines. I would always like step over it. And another one of my OCD traits was like sometimes when I walked up here, it wasn't always, but it was sometimes I would have to like count, like I would be like 2 footsteps in each square. Like I was always like counting, because counting is like one of my big things, but 4 was my number, which is interesting because it would be 2 on each square, and I would have to like not step on the crack and then 2 all the way up here, and it was something I did. That was one of the easiest rituals for me to get rid of. I don't know why. Also, one of the ones that I thought would be the hardest would be this walking up the stairs, because I would have to start on a certain foot. You guys, this is literally like, it like monopolized my days with, I mean, and it wasn't like I literally like thought, okay, now you have to do this. It's just like I did it. It was just ingrained in me. If you have OCD and you have it this severe, you'll know what I'm talking about. But one of the ones that I did like all day long, all the time, for a very long time, I mean for years and years on end. It got worse after the accident, obviously, like they really flared up, and then ones would come out of nowhere. Like one of the things I worked on with my therapist was, I was like, how does my mind, like this is so intriguing to me, like how does your mind just invent a ritual, you know? Like I'm just trying to think of an example, but like maybe I had never had anything with like OCD, a lot of people have like washing hand OCD things, right? I never have, but like let's just say if I never had, and then all of a sudden I go to wash my hands and I'm like, okay, I have to like rinse my hands like 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? Like how all of a sudden does that just come up? And what he said is that the ritual is actually not the washing of the hands, it's the number 4, because like that was my number, or it still is my number. I really have like, at this point, I've worked, your dogs are so cute. She's like 2 little like golden noodles, but they're real cute. They're, they don't look like, they're like kind of squatty. They look like they're mixed with something. They're real cute. I worked probably through like 85% of my rituals. The rewinding of the TV is one thing that like now, like I was talking about this the other day, it's like, am I rewinding it because I missed something, or am I rewinding it because something's coming out? But I've really, really worked diligently on the OCD. It's interesting because I can remember when, so I was gonna say the staircase. So the staircase, like going up the stairs, I always had to start on my left foot, and it was like, I had to like miss a step and I had to land on a certain foot. It was very specific how I had to do it. That was really, honestly, like after a couple weeks, that was like one that just like went away. I don't even think about it anymore. I just walk up the stairs. And I can remember when I started like working against it, I thought, I'm gonna, for the rest of my life, every time I walk up, it's not any staircase, it's just these stairs. And it was like up to the basement and everything. And I was like, from the basement up to the main floor, from the main floor to the bedroom, it was always just those stairs. Like most staircases, maybe some other places I went, but mostly it wasn't. But I can remember when I first started it was like every time I would go up the stairs, I would think about it. Like I had to like deliberately, this is probably so boring to people, I don't know. But anyway, I don't even know why I'm thinking about this today, but I like, well, because the hat on the bed thing, I guess that's what got it started. But I would deliberately think to myself, okay, start on a different foot, or don't count as you go up the stairs, because I had to like land on a certain number and whatever. And I can remember thinking to myself, and even saying it to my therapist, like, this is never going to leave my head. Like, I feel like I'm crazy. Like, I'm going to be like 10 years down the road, and yes, maybe I'll be able to walk through the staircase, but I'll still like look down and be like, okay, don't do it today. I, honest to God, like, I don't really ever think about it. Most of my rituals, I don't ever really think about. There were like slate floor things I had to sit on. There were ways that I had to walk in. I mean, it was everything. I should go back through. I haven't done this in like a month. I should go back in and look at all my rituals, because most of them are completely done at this point. Just a lot of things, like sleeping with the bedroom door closed. Like last night, was not last night, it was the night before when Boo Radley was getting up and off the bed. Like, I just opened the bedroom door because I thought, well, maybe he wants to go downstairs and eat. He didn't, but, and I just left it open. For a long time, I could never sleep with the bedroom door, opened. And, so yeah, but it's like, it's weird because I've worked through most of these rituals. I think, like, as I've worked through my feelings and emotions and gotten healthier, it's like a lot of these traits have just kind of like gone away. And a lot of them I haven't had to like even deliberately like work through. But when you're doing it and you look at it, like you feel, like you literally feel crazy. Like he told me that was the difference between, like a huge major factor between OCD and OCPD is that OCD, like you're very aware that you're doing the traits. And you realize that it doesn't seem normal. Like there's something that's not normal about this. Whereas with OCPD, apparently you don't have a lot of awareness about it and you feel like it's very, very normal. That he told me that was just one of the distinguishing factors between the two of them. So, yeah, I mean, I've always been aware of them when I did it. I can remember years ago, like the first year that I was with my ex, which would have been like 2001, was it like when we were together or was it when we were breaking up? It wasn't, I don't think it was when we were breaking up. I think it was when we were still together. But our old apartment, like each apartment had like a separate entrance. And so like they were almost kind of like condos. And I can remember like you would open our door and then you had like a flight of stairs, like inside the apartment, the flight of stairs went up to the main floor. And I can remember at that time, one of my rituals was that I had to skip every other stair or every third stair or something like that. And it was like hard to do. And I can remember like I slipped and I fell and I can remember, I can see myself. It was after work and I was like sitting there and I was just like bawling my eyes out with like my bag on my shoulder. And I just was like bawling and I was like, this is insanity. Like, you know, in your heart of hearts and in your head and everywhere, you know, in your gut, that you missing a step is not going to save the world. Like, you know that. But you have this innate feeling that if you don't do these things, something horrible is going to happen. And so, which is why, you know, my therapist thinks that a lot of them came out. Like, they just, like, exponentially grew, like, 100 times, like, after the accident, as a way of, like, trying to have some kind of control over an uncontrollable situation. So I've really been working hard about it. But, like, you know, when I first, well, I mean, even up till now, when I first started getting rid of them, it was like all my emotions were coming out all over the place. Like, I didn't even know what to do with it. I was just like, what is going on? Like, I just felt so raw. And I didn't even realize, I don't think, what purpose they served while they were doing it. But it was like any thought, any emotion that I had in my head that would go a certain way, it was like, instantly, like, all of the traits would start coming out. So it's weird today that, like, I'm trying to think of a trait that well, the hat on the bed is strange because I don't even know that made that to my list, if you want to know the truth. It just was something I always did. And when I talked to him about it, he was like, oh yeah, that's an OCD trait. And I was like, that's one that's been recent that I've been working through. And I don't, like, I think before long it'll be, you know, I mean, each one that I've worked through and done intentionally. I'm trying to think of, like, ones that still exist today that I have. I don't know. I mean, and then there's the fine line between things that you feel like you have to do on a daily basis, like every night doing my, like, 10-step inventory and doing my prayers, my meditation, my gratitude list. Like, I will not go to bed unless that's done. Like, I always have to do that, but I don't feel like that relates to an OCD trait. I feel like that's the way, and I've talked to my therapist and he's like, no, I don't think that is either. But it is a ritual that I have to do every day, and it doesn't happen at the same time every day. Sometimes I do it before I watch my shows. Sometimes I do it the last thing before I go to bed. I used to do it on the stairs on my knees before I would go upstairs to bed. Now I usually come out here and I sit and I just like to be outside, and there's my neighbor. And I like to just sit outside and be outside and the silence of the world while I do my prayers and my meditations and my gratitude list and my inventory and stuff like that. But that's like something that I will not miss. Like, I have to do that before I go to bed. I think for me, it's a positive way of looking back on my day and closing my day. But it's kind of maddening when you start thinking about all this kind of stuff. And, yeah, so my neighbor next door, I noticed it. She said something about it like a couple weeks ago. And I noticed it when I took Boo Radley out one day, and then like the other day I really noticed it. There are like huge piles of poop in her yard. I mean, like huge. And when she said something about it at first, like it was neighbors talking, I was like, I mean, I always pick up Boo Radley's poop. And there's like a little compost pile over here. I mean, his poop is literally like this big, and I pick it up with a leaf and I put it over there. And so it's like, I mean, you shift through it, you can't even see it because it's like these dead like lilies and stuff like that. And in the summer I don't do that. In summer I pick it up and throw it away inside, but in the winter that's what I do. And he doesn't even really like, I mean, his poop is so small. He poops like one time a day and it's like that big. And so I was like, you know, and she's like, it's not Boo. She's like, have you seen it? And I had seen it like once, but I thought maybe it was just like somebody like, you know, their dog, hey, had like an accident in the yard or something. But the other day, this was before I talked to her, when I had taken Boo out, there were like several piles of it. And she's like, I don't know who this is. There's nobody around us. Our neighbor has a big dog, but he is like in the backyard all the time. And his piles of poop are big, but this is the thing, is that my neighbor takes him to the dog park in the morning, like in the summer and stuff when I'm out here watching shows. Like he gets up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and he like walks him all the way around the neighborhood. Then he gets in the car, he takes him to the bark park at like 5:30 in the morning, takes him to the bark park or the dog park or whatever, and then they're there for like an hour, and then comes home and walks him again, and always has like bags on him when he like picks up the poop and stuff like that. So it can't be him. And the only thing I can think of is there's like this couple, like I've been out here, I don't know if I said this on video, I think I did the other day when I was on here. There's this couple, and when I'm out here sometimes like they run, like they fast walk run, like at, I don't know, they're probably my age, and they're like super in shape, and they have like the headlights on and everything like that, and they walk real fast, and they like sometimes they're running and sometimes they're walking, and it's like 4:30 or 5 in the morning, it's very early. And they have this dog, it looks like a black lab or something, I think. And it has like one of those headlight things on. They put it like the lit up collars or something. There's like some light on it because I can see it before, because it kind of scares me sometimes when I see it. And it comes like running down the street, or like what runs through the yards, actually. That's why I kind of think it might be this dog. It runs through the yards and they're on the street, and then it comes about, I would say, probably 20 seconds before they, like, it's running, and like then they're 20 seconds behind it. And because I can remember the first time, I may have been vlogging or doing something out here the first time that I saw it, because I was like, this dog is all by itself. And then all of a sudden I saw these people and they were like fast walking. They had the same things, not the same things, but they had things lit up on their heads too. So it's like, oh, they're all together, and the dog just like runs ahead of them, which I think is kind of interesting. But there's not anybody really out on the roads around here at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. There's like, I mean, it's silent. There's nobody around here. It's like dead silent. And so that's the only dog that I've ever seen around here. Every other person that I ever see, like on their leashes and stuff, they always, or if they don't walk their dog on a leash, they like have the bags in their hands or whatever. I've never seen a big dog walk through here. I don't know who it could possibly be. So, but she was texting me about that last night. I ended up sending her the TikToks of the HOA guy. He's so funny. Somebody said something about his name. I don't know if it's the same guy that I'm talking about. He's the guy that's like, violations. He's that guy. People always send me his TikToks. I think he's really funny. He does a lot of other things. He doesn't just do the HOA thing. He does like different TikToks and stuff. But somebody said somebody from Indiana does HOA things. I don't think that's who it is. I don't think this guy's from Indiana, but maybe he is. I don't know. I think he has a pretty big following. But anyway, I sent her like 2 of his TikToks last night. And last night was, so I was trying to like maybe do like a semi-fast yesterday. But I got so hungry. I think I said this in so I did my weight loss update today. I'll let you guys go over there and watch it. I didn't do great, but I didn't do horrible. I will say that. Like, I won't say I'm proud of myself, but I didn't do as bad as I thought I was going to do. So I'm glad about that. And I did lose a little bit of weight this week, so that's good. But I think, like, I don't know if I said this on that video or if I said it on the vlog last night, but I feel like I need to eat smaller meals throughout the day because I start getting, like, really aggressively hungry, like, late at night. And so last night, Alex came home. Was this like Wednesday? Alex came home. He was super tired when he came home. Oh, he was home already when I was vlogging last night. He was super tired when I went inside, and so I was like, do you want to watch any TV or anything tonight? And he was like, no, I'm not really feeling it. He's like, I'm going to lay here for a little bit. And he's like, then I might go heat up some food or something. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to eat something now because I was going to eat while we watch TV because I love to eat while we watch TV. I said, well, I'm going to eat something now. And then I'm going to, what did I watch? Oh, I watched the A&E Herb Baumeister Fox Hollow Farms documentary that was on. A lot of people were asking me when I talked about it in my video yesterday about Herb Baumeister on my drama channel. They said, where can you watch the A&E documentary? If you want to watch it, all you need to do is, well, first of all, there's an A&E channel on YouTube, and it's on that one. But if you put in, like, in a search on YouTube, if you put A&E Herb Baumeister, it's the first one that comes up. And it's called, like, The Husband's Secret or Husband Lies to His Wife or something like that. And it says husband is the first word, and it's like 46 minutes long. It's not bad. Like, I can remember, like, watching it and why I got intrigued with it. I feel like I've seen it, like, several times in my life, though, because I felt like I knew, like, everything that was about to come out. And then the guy that I've been talking to, like, my source, told me to watch this. He, like, linked it. It was these people that are, like, watching The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farms, and then they comment on stuff that they know about it. It was really long, so I only started watching that. But anyway, last night I ate 2 of my Morningstar breakfast sandwiches. They were 200 calories each. And then I ate a thing of cottage cheese with the rest of my tomatoes and the case that I got last week, the little, not case, the little thing. So I had like 5 or 6 of those cherry tomatoes. And then I had some fruit from the fruit that I got yesterday and kind of had that with the cottage cheese as well as like a dessert. And I was so full. So, yeah, I learned a lot of lessons this week. I learned that I just need to make smarter choices, first of all, you know. I did not walk last night. That was the thing. I went upstairs, and that was my plan, was to walk. And as I was walking up the stairs, my knee was hurting. And I was just like, I don't want to push it. Like, I don't want to get an injury. Like, that's the thing I'm scared of. Today, my knee, it still hurts, but it feels much better. I think I can walk. It was pouring down rain earlier. It's completely stopped. So it's a little colder than it was yesterday, but it's still not too cold outside. And so I think I can walk. I mean, like, last night was my goal to walk, and I didn't. So, I, like, walked around, but I didn't really, like, take a walk. So, I mean, it's not anything that I would consider a walk, even though I walked a little bit, but it wasn't considered a walk. So, because my knee was hurting. So, yeah, and then after that, I was like, I'm going to take a nap, so I laid down. When I was laying down, like, halfway through, I woke up, and Alex was getting up, and he went downstairs, and he heated up something that he had in the refrigerator. I think it was his leftover Cuban from Sunday, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I know, he heated up something, he was watching something now. Oh, what was he watching? I think he was watching Vanderpump Rules, because I ended up watching, so then I got up from my nap. I had such a great nap. Oh my God. I had a dream. I had like a nightmare. I woke up and I was like sweating and stuff like that. And I had this nightmare. Like, Alex was back upstairs when I woke up. I just had the weirdest nightmare. I had a nightmare that Alex and I were at Amy Slayton's house, and we were going on a road trip. This is like all the true crime. I told her that. I like woke up and I had this like nightmare that like Alex and I were at Amy Slayton's house, and like her kids were running around and her family was there, but it wasn't like her family on the show. And she was like scared to go, and we were doing like a paranormal road trip or something, and I was trying to convince her to go, and she was like really scared to go and all this kind of stuff. So I messaged her last night. I was like, Amy, oh my God, I had like the weirdest dream about you. And she's like, you need to stay off the true crime and all this kind of stuff. She was so fun. We were talking about Hey Dudes. She's like, oh no, I'm into the Nikes now. I'm not into the Hey Dudes anymore. She's like, they're comfortable, but they're ugly. We were talking about Hey Dudes, me and Amy Slayton last night. So Anyway, we actually talked for quite a while. But then when I got up, I watched Vanderpump Rules. It was actually nice enough that I could sit out here last night, and I cleaned off my table, lit up my candle, and brought my iPad and stuff out here, and I watched Vanderpump Rules. And then I started watching that documentary that he had sent to me about Fox Hollow Farms, The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farms. Now, I have watched The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farms before. That's on YouTube, too. You can just put in The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farms. It is completely cheesy, and it's like psychics come out there and all that kind of stuff. But there's something very scary about it. It's they talk about, like, they show, like, where he passed away and things like that. It's very scary. It's like... It's scary in, like, a cheesy way, but if you watch it by yourself... So I started watching it last night. I was like, oh, no, I need to go inside. So I went inside... And I watched something else on YouTube. I watched like a true crime documentary. I can't remember what it was. Something else, not to do with Herb Baumeister. And then I finished watching The Jenks. Okay, that is hands down one of the best true crime documentaries I've ever seen. Like, true story, like top 5. It is unbelievable. It is nothing like I thought it would be. So many people in the comments were like, I hope you enjoy it. I'm so glad you're watching it, whatever. Thank you for the recommendation, because I don't know that if it wasn't for you guys, I would have ever watched it. I just was really not that interested in it, and it blew me away. I mean, the last 2 seconds of the documentary, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but like literally the last 2 seconds of the documentary is like, what just happened? So I had to look up what happened to him, like, afterwards. I don't want to, for anybody that hasn't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you. Trust me, if you like true crime, watch The Jenks. It's on HBO Max. It is unbelievable. It's one of the best true crime documentaries I've ever seen. Actually, the director of it is the guy that directed... So they come out and just act like it's a documentary, and then... what they do is they explain I think it's in the second or third episode, they explain the backstory of how the documentary started getting made. And it's this director that made this movie with Kirsten Dunst based on the story of Robert Durst, who's the person in The Jenks, his wife going missing and being presumed dead. And so he made a movie, this Andrew Jarecki, I think is his name, or something like that. He made this movie about it, and then Robert Durst reached out to him to tell his story, and that's how the documentary got started. But you don't know that when you first go into it, and that won't ruin it for you. But it is unbelievable the things they find out. So I went in and I looked to see, Robert Durst passed away in 2022. He was 78 years old. But all this stuff happened after the documentary ends, and they're actually coming out with part 2 this year. It's filmed and ready to go and everything like that. It's coming out, I think, like they said, coming out on HBO Max again. Do we call it Max? I never know. I just call it HBO Max. It's coming out on HBO Max this maybe, I don't know, I'm speculating, spring. But it's another, like, showing the 8 years after the documentary was filmed. Or 7 or 8 years after that. So I cannot wait to watch it, because apparently there's like fresh details to the case and everything that happened. It's unbelievable. And then it was late, but it wasn't super late. It was like 3:30 or 4 or something like that. And I was going to watch something else. I can't remember what I was going to watch. But I was like, just go to bed. I was like, just go to bed and get a good night's sleep. So I went to bed and got a good night's sleep. And then got up today, was doing stuff around the house. Boo Radley has not been feeling good today. I don't know what's going on with him. Yesterday, he was a crazy dog running around and all kinds of stuff. I don't know if it's maybe the weather changes. Sometimes with the weather changes because of his arthritis. Like, that's what Alex said. Alex is like, he was totally fine yesterday, so it's probably the weather changes. He was running around and acting like a crazy dog all day yesterday and all last night, right? And then late last night, he was real tired. Like, I went upstairs before I went to bed to see if he wanted to go outside, and he didn't want to. And so he, like, hardly put up his head. And so I was like, oh, he's real tired. So today I got up, and he didn't really want to get up either. And I was like, come on, Boo, because I was like, he has to go outside before I had my therapy session at 2. I filmed my weight loss video before that. So before all that, before I was getting ready, I was like, I got to take him out because I'm going to be, like, busy for, like, the next hour and a half. He didn't even want to come out here. At that point, it was still raining pretty hard. So he kind of just, like, went over here and, like, did his business, and then he went inside. But he was, like, he's real slow today. But then I just took him out before I started vlogging, and he wasn't as slow as he was earlier today. Oh, the other thing is he went down in his house and just has been hanging out in his house all day long, which is, like, the crate that we keep near the basement. It was Boo and Tucker's crate. We just call it, their house, but now it's his house, you know, and it has little blankets in there and stuff like that. He rarely ever goes in there anymore. He's always in our bedroom. He's always on the bed in our bedroom. The other thing is he's been real finicky lately. Like, he doesn't like to lay on the Costco blankets anymore. He likes to just lay on the faux fur blanket. I don't know if he's getting hot at night or whatever. And he also, like, the bed, the purple bed that Lucy sent us, we're like keeping it like either on the floor in the bedroom or like outside in like the landing, like right before you go down the stairs. We keep it in that hallway. And sometimes he'll just lay in it out in the hallway where it's like real dark out there. But if it's on the bed, he will not get in the bed anymore. He will not get in the bed, and he will not get in, get on the Costco blankets. I don't know why he's not wanting to sleep in the Costco blankets anymore. We keep him on the bed, and every once in a while we put the purple bed up there. He'll sleep on it if it's on the ground, but he won't sleep in the bed anymore. He only wants to be like on the phone. The camera stopped. I can't believe I was at the 30-minute mark. I don't know, maybe the faux fur blanket feels good to him or something like that, but he doesn't want the Costco blanket. So like move him to the side and stuff like that. It's real funny. And he's also being real finicky with food. So he loved this Portland food. So I bought him more of that, and then, hey, how are you?
I'm good, Trader. How are you?
Good. And then Alex last night, because we had gone through this bag, Alex is trying to get rid of the old food. So he put down that Royal Canine food, which Boo Radley used to love. He will not touch that food. He will not touch it at all. He moves it around with his like nose, and he like will not touch it. So today he had like eaten. He hadn't really eaten at all yesterday. He had eaten a little bit of it. So I just dumped it because it was starting to stink, and because I'm doing dishes right now, a load of dishes in the dishwasher. So I dumped it, and then I put down the new food, the Portland pet food, which is chicken and potatoes or something like that, chicken and sweet potatoes. And I was like, let's try this and see if he likes this. So I don't know. I hope he'll like it. I'm a little worried about the little guy. But, you know, he has days like this. Alex tells me this all the time. Whenever I get, like, panic mode, right? And Alex is like, he's totally fine. He's just feeling a little bit under the weather, or the weather changes are different and stuff like that. But he doesn't look like he feels sore. Like, sometimes, like, when he jumps off the bed too hard or whatever, or tries to get up or off the bed, like, you know, you can kind of tell. But he doesn't seem sore. He just seems slow. And I will say, he was trying to eat the grass out here, and so maybe his stomach hurts. I don't know about that. Like, maybe he's got, like, some stomach bug or something, because, you know, dogs, like, will eat, like, weeds and grass and stuff like that when they don't feel good. But I stop him immediately from doing that. So, Tanya always tells me, and our vet always tells us, that it's okay for a dog not to eat and just drink water for like a day or two, that they know how to like take care of themselves and regulate their systems. And then actually, like, if a dog doesn't eat for a day or two and they're getting like sick to their stomach, it like clears out everything for their stomach, and then they're fine. So that's probably just what's going on. Of course, I'm always in panic mode about Boo Radley, you know. I mean, he's 14 and a half years old, and I'm always like, I mean, I know he's not going to be around here forever. So it's always like, and like Tucker, you know, Tucker had the heart disease and was sick, but that's not why he ended up dying. And so I'm always like, whenever Boo is acting a little bit different, I'm always like, oh my god, is this like it? Is something gonna happen, you know? So tonight, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Have one of my meals or something. And yeah, and then watch some TV. We have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills finale, Housewives of Miami finale, The Swans. Oh, Traitors is on tonight, too. So we have 4 shows to watch tonight. And then Alex is working from home tomorrow. So he'll be home tomorrow. I may just take a slow day tomorrow. I may not. Today I filmed a drama video, a Peter Does Stuff video, and my vlog. I don't know. I'm just going to have to wake up and kind of see how I feel tomorrow. It's also going to have to do a lot with how the weather is, because Alex is going to be working inside. So depending on if he's like on phone calls and like meetings and stuff, it's going to be hard for me to film a lot inside. So if I can't film outside, other than, you know, I'll like, you know, for the vlog, I'll like put on a warm coat and I'll put my heating vest on if I have to come out here. But as far as everything else, I might not. I might just wait till Saturday or Sunday. I also actually thought about taking a couple more days off this weekend, but even if I take off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll probably still vlog. So yeah, there's that. And then what else? I think I'm gonna watch this show tonight that it's only like an hour and a half, I think. I looked it up. It's either, there's a couple documentaries that I want to watch are like an hour and a half. My Teacher the Octopus, a lot of people commented on that. Not a lot, but a couple people commented on that and said it's really, really good. I want to watch that, but I'm going to save it probably till the spring or summer. It's not like I'm really into the true crime right now. So while I'm in the true crime, I need to watch it until like I'm done with it. Because there will be a day I'll wake up and I'll be like, I cannot watch one more true crime documentary. Like it's something will tip me over the edge. It'll be too dark. And then I'll be like, I can talk about it. Like I can make the videos, but I'll have to like take a break from watching it. So I'm kind of like, while I'm in it, I'm going to keep on watching it. Because every night, like I love to light the candles I light them in the kitchen. I might even start putting one next to my coffee pot. And so I walk around in the dark. Cause I have like 2 by the table next to the couch, and then I have 2 in the kitchen on the table. Sometimes I light the one next to me, but it kind of distracts my eye from the iPad. And so it smells so good in there, and then I have my iPad set up, and then I make coffee or, you know, have a glass of water or whatever while I'm watching my shows, and I get all comfy in my chair, and I love it so much. And Alex is upstairs, I can hear the fan and whatever, you know. It's so cozy, and I love watching these true crime documentaries. So I think the one I'm going to watch tonight, somebody said was called Tell Me Who I Am, and it's about a guy that has like amnesia or something, or some mental health issue where he doesn't remember his past, and so he has to rely on his twin brother or his brother to tell him something about it. And there's like, I looked it up and it says there's like some dark secret the brother's hiding. So I'm gonna watch that tonight. I don't know if it's like an hour and a half or it's like a series. I like the series. The one about a lot of people, like I said, again, not a lot, but a few people commented about the documentary about the woman that goes in the submarine. It's just, like, I watched a trailer. It's like 2 go down and only the guy comes back, and it's like, where is she? And there's like a trial and stuff. I'm not like super, super interested in that one, but I will watch it. I have like probably right now like 10 or 15. I have screenshots in my phone of documentaries that I want to watch. So I'm going to go in and try to figure out which one I'm going to watch tonight. So if you have like Die Hard, like you have to watch this documentary. It was so funny because I just said in my video like yesterday or the day before my vlog, I think it's funny. It's like, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. It's not like it upsets me. I mean, I am totally understanding that people probably catch. I know there's some people that watch every vlog, and then there's people that watch like every 3rd or 4th vlog or whatever. But it's so funny because I said in just my video the other day that people recommend shows to me to watch. They're like, you have to watch this show. And I even use like The Last Thing She Said as an example, or The Last Thing He Told Me or something like that. That I can't remember who wrote the book, but I read the book and I watched the show like a long time ago. And that like, I'll talk about a show extensively, and then somebody will be like, oh my God, you need to watch this show. And I'm like, yeah, I already talked about it like extensively, like in my vlogs, you know. It's so funny to me. But I also know that there are people that are finding my vlogs every day, right? But it was funny because, where is she? She just came home, and then she must have left and gone that way. And then she's coming back home again. But anyway, it's so funny because yesterday in my vlog, people were recommending shows to me that I've like seen and actually talked about extensively on my vlogs. I just kind of like assume that most of the people that have watched my vlog have watched for a long time. So, but I also know that I get people all the time that comment or be like, oh, I'm new to this channel and I just started watching you. So I guess I shouldn't assume that, right? By the way, this is my new Dunkin' Donuts cup. I really, really like it. You can't really see it. This is Dunkin' right here. Isn't that so pretty? It was like $13 or $14. $12, $13, $14. I think that's pretty good for one of these cups. And I will say this, unlike the Starbucks cups, this stays cold. Like, this has been cold all day. I've been filling a little bit of coffee up here and there. I still have tons of it left. I haven't drank that much coffee today, but I put a little bit of ice in there. I don't like it tons of ice, like filled to the top. Oh, look, it has little hearts and stuff on it. It's like a Valentine's Day cup. I might have to start collecting the Dunkin' Donuts cups. So, anyway, that's what I'm going to do tonight. And then tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Alex has 2 things tomorrow. He has, like, some event thing that he's going to for his friend. And I don't know this friend. It's like a friend that he knows, like, through work and stuff like that. And then it's his friend's birthday party. And this is actually the friend that, like, we went out to do the Christmas exchange for presents. She and her husband that we went out on the double date. And then it's also the couple that we went to Florida with. But her husband didn't go. And the other couple went. And so it's like the 3 of us, like we always do things together as a couple. So she's doing this dinner tomorrow night. But I was asking Alex, like, who's going? And he said that our one friend is going, but her husband isn't, because she just had their 2nd child. And so he's staying at home with the kids. So he's not going. And then, like, 2 or 3 of the other people that are going, like, I don't know, because this is, like, from her other friend group and stuff like that. So the only person that I would know would be like her, but it's her birthday, and Alex, and then her husband, if her husband's there. So I don't, but he may be home with the kids because it's maybe like a girls' night thing. So Alex was like, I kind of need to know like right now if you're going to go or not. So I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to go. But so anyway, yeah, that's tomorrow night. I texted him and I asked him, I said, what time are you going to, right before I came out here, I said, what time are you going to be home? And he said, I'm leaving here at 5, I should be home no later than 5:30. But what time am I? It's like, I'm going to vlog in. I came out here about 5 till 5. He probably stayed at work a little bit later tonight. So, since it's his last day in the office. So yeah, that's tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow night and stuff like that. This meeting that Tanya loves on Fridays, we've been trying to go to that meeting on Friday. And actually, I was talking to a friend of mine, and her daughter goes to this meeting. And when I went a couple weeks ago on Tanya's birthday, her daughter was, I only know that her daughter recently got sober, and I don't know, I've never like met her daughter. And so she like showed me a picture of her daughter, and she was like, oh, she goes to that meeting all the time, and she said she wants to meet you and stuff. So, I'm going to try to start regularly going to that meeting maybe. So yeah. Not tomorrow, but regularly. And that's about it. It's like, it's kind of weird. Let me show you the weather. First of all, you're going to see all these flags in our yard when they're coming out here to do the fiber optics or whatever they're doing. But anyway, I don't know if you can see, but it's like cleared up. It's kind of sunny, but like, I don't know if you can see this over here, but like, it's not really showing up on camera, but over there, it is like really, really dark. And it looks like it's going to come back over here and rain again. Can you guys see all the flags out there in the yard? But I guess I don't have to worry about the hostas until, what did my neighbor say? When they start growing. She said May, but I think they start growing sooner than that. I'm kind of excited for her to like teach me how to like separate them. Because I think what I'm going to do is, before they come up, the back, in our backyard, like we have these, like, what are those, irises or lilies or whatever they are, I don't know if they are. But they grow real tall behind the fence on our back patio. I think I'm going to dig all that up. Alex dug up half of it last year because some of it looks like weeds. And that's where all, like the little bunny rabbits and squirrels and stuff, they, like, sleep underneath the patio and stuff. And they go through the weeds. I think that I'm going to, like, dig all that up. We have, like, it's probably, like, 2 feet by, like, maybe 10 feet behind our patio. Like, when you're going out in the backyard. I think I'm going to dig all of them up. And then I'm going to take some of the separated hostas, and I'm going to do, like, 3 back there. Because if they grow big, then that'll be 3 hostas behind the house. And then maybe lay some stonework going down from our patio into the yard. We already have some out there, but it's, like, mismatched stonework. And our neighbors next door, they went and got stonework from like Lowe's or something, but it's like these like half moon stars. It looks really nice. Something like that. And so I'm thinking about, we don't really need that many. I just want to do like a little stone area and then like 3 or 4 things. The thing is that I did this mosaic table like years ago. I think I've talked about it on here, about this Pier 1 glass table, and then I ended up doing like mosaics all over it. It ended up, I'm not a mathematician, so like evening it out, it turned out, it looks beautiful, but like I never like measured it or anything. I just kind of like went with it, this design on this mosaic. I like bought all these glass mosaics and glued them down on top of this glass table. I was rather crafty back then. Anyway, it would be really fun to do something like that out there, like something with mosaics and whatever. And the thing is that we don't plan to ever sell this place. So we're planning to always like keep it, you know? And so there's no reason for, I mean, Alex may, like, you know, 20 years down the road or something like that, or 30 years, you know, depending on where we're at, or, you know, things like that, or if I'm here and all that. But, you know, so, I mean, hopefully, but, you know, I think it'd be kind of fun to do like some like little mosaic out there, like do like brickwork, but like lay like some glass mosaics around it or something. I don't know. I'm going to go look at, like Lowe's or Home Depot the next time I'm with Caroline, and, hey, this kid's like running down the street like they're on cross country or track or something. She looked like she was about 9 or 10. My God. And, oh wait, I think I hear her parents walking behind her. Or a parent talking on the phone. I know it's this guy walking his dog. I know it's a different dog. I swear to God that's my neighbor's dog that he always walks. The guy that always says hi to me. Somebody commented on my video yesterday and they said, the next time that guy that doesn't like you, it comes by, you should say like, hey girl, or something like that. You guys have no idea how many times I try to talk to him. This is the thing that's so weird to me, that I have to believe it's about that, because he's made other comments to other neighbors. The thing is, he's not real friendly in general, like to any of the neighbors. He's not real friendly. It's not just me. Like my neighbor across the street, when she's working in his yard, she'll like say hi and he won't say anything to her. But like, I know specifically it's about that with me, because he's made comments about Alex and I to other people. Not like derogatory comments, but he like refers to us as like those... I want to say those guys, but it's not that. It's like those men or something. It's weird how he says it. I don't know what I'll next time I hear it, I'll let you guys know. But anyway, but he's not super friendly to anybody in this neighborhood. I know he's a widower, and I know he lives by himself, I think, if it's the house I'm thinking in. But anyway, the thing that's so weird is that I go into the pool, sitting out here, every neighbor is so unbelievably nice to me. And Alex, I mean, everybody's so nice to us, you know? And, I think that most of the neighborhood kind of knows that, like, we all get along right here, and, like, we're really close. Like, the 2 condos across the street and the 3 of us over here. I mean, like, all 5 condos, like, the people, we're, like, real close. And so I think they kind of know that. This is kind of like a hub of the neighborhood. But, like, everybody in the neighborhood is really nice. Like, nobody, I mean, people will stop and be like, how's Alex doing? I mean, people that don't even know Alex, I just know him to wave to him. They'll be like, how's Alex doing? And stuff like that, you know? People are super, I mean, they've met him, like, one time and I'll introduce him, you know? But, like, people are really nice to everybody in the neighborhood, or everybody in the neighborhood is really nice to me. He's the only one that is kind of like that, but I thought that was so funny. Somebody was like, say, hey, girl. I mean, it's not like I wouldn't. I don't really care, you know what I mean? The older you get, the less you care about that stuff. If I say, hey, girl, he'd still look the other way, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not like he's going to bolt off the street and come, you know, get me or something. If he wants to, have at it, I guess. So yeah, and I don't really know what I'm doing this weekend. I can tell you one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start walking again, and I'm going to finish that audiobook, The Housemaid, that I'm listening to, because I haven't listened to it in like a week. And I really want... I hear somebody else walking down the street talking. Here they are. 2 women talking. They must be gossiping because they're kind of like hushed tones. One was looking down at her phone the whole time. Anyway, oh, this little girl, I think she's running with her dad. Because he's running, and he's pushing, like, a baby or 2 babies in, like, this big cart. It's got these, like, orange caution things all over it. He's pushing it, running, and she's running behind him, so they must be together. That was the same girl that ran by here that looked like she was 9 or 10. Like, the neighborhood, like, this is a lot, like, this is an older neighborhood. The thing is, okay, so my neighborhood that I live in is real small, but there's neighborhoods around us. So, like, we go right into, like, the street, and those are mostly... I mean, there's a couple older people that have lived there for, like, a long time. Oh, it's this little girl riding in this, like, pushing thing. And her dad pushing her as he's running. But anyway, but there's a lot of families outside here that's kids are, like, you know, like, middle school to high school grades. Like, you go by and it says, like, you know, #1 track for whatever, Cathedral High School or whatever, like, private school. This is big private school area, big Catholic school, private school area around here. And so you see, like, those, you know, talking about those signs you see, like, on the garages and stuff like that. So you see a lot of that around here. And so there's a lot of families, I think, because this is almost kind of like, our neighborhood is almost kind of like a walking trail. Other than, like, Amazon and UPS guys, there's not a lot of traffic that goes through here during the day. And definitely not at night. I mean, it's, like, dead, like I said. Like, nobody's going through here at night. Like, it's very empty. And so I think that people walk and run through here because we also have the path that goes by the pool and all that kind of stuff. And you can walk around here and run around here for a while. Like, it's like a, like, you know, Crazy 8 kind of thing. Do we still say that, Crazy 8? I don't know. But anyway, it's like the lakes, and it's like an 8 around the... Well, I don't know why that would be a Crazy 8. What is Crazy 8? I don't know. Is my husband coming home? Here he is. Okay, well, I'm going to get off here now so I can greet my husband at the door. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, Don't tell anyone. Or you can start your week or your weekend over if you need to, because it's almost the weekend. And 3, reach out to somebody and let them know how much it means to you. Like I always say, you might be putting a smile on their face. You might be changing their day for the better. You might be making them not feel so all alone. And you might be the only text that they get or call all day long, right? And so it's just such a nice thing to do. And be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more. Just put some goodness out there in the world. Just put some positivity and kindness out there in the world. And be kinder to yourself and love yourself a little bit more. Because if you're kinder to yourself, then if you're kinder to yourself, then you will be kinder to others. And my husband's bringing in the trash can. Can you hear it? If you're kinder to yourself, then you will be kinder to others. And if you love yourself more, then you will love others more as well. And I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.